And I think we're live. So welcome to the Women of Wine Country show, where we're coming to you in a little bit different platform due to the pandemic. So thank you, pandemic, COVID-19. I have my guest, Marty Hackworth, who is a brand new published author. So welcome, Marty.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so we just got your first book published. You want to tell us the title?
It is If Homes Could Talk, basically a California guide to real estate.
Yep. And so what made you decide to write this book?
I've been in real estate since I think about 2004. I've worked for a bunch of different mentors and clever cats and had a bunch of wild experiences happen to me, both really amazing and also really horrible. And I get a lot of questions, and this is a good way. There's so much, that people should know going into buying a home. And, these conversations take place a lot of times, but a lot of times when we're buying a house, people are busy or we're just in and out real quick. And there's not a lot of time to discuss some of these things that I really feel they should know to help out the experience and to help make sure it's successful. And so this was a way that I just thought I could help, give them a book or provide a book or something like that for my clients to help them understand, the things that I'd like them to know to be more successful. And so that's kind of where it started. And I've actually been working on it for, a couple of years. I've rewritten it a couple of times and changed the format and,
Well, you've done a wonderful job. It's a beautifully done book for somebody who's, like you say, is a novice in writing. You've done an excellent job putting it together. Just excellent.
Well, I've had great help from you, and I really, really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, you didn't really need me that much, but it's always nice to have somebody just kind of come in and say, "Oh no, yeah, you're doing it right."
Well, you're right. It helps. It's that, that little bit of familiarity. The older I get, the less I'm so excited about taking on learning new technology and things like that. It starts getting overwhelming at times, and to have someone to help you out that's gone through it, it's pretty cool, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, good. Well, I appreciate being invited on to the journey. It's been a lot of fun. And I remember, we were private messaging back and forth when we uploaded your book, and I got that rush that I got when I uploaded my first book. And so I totally get it. It was kind of cool to be in on that. I want to do that again and again.
I had no idea. I had no idea. This was so different than what I thought. I had no real plan or idea of what to do with it. I just really wanted to get this information out. And then, thank God I met you and kind of got on a different path and learned, maybe a way to get it out and to follow your success through it has been really cool. And even as we're going through and it was getting close and, we're talking about deadlines and we're fixing things on the cover, it didn't really hit me that much. I'm not a really excitable guy. It was kind of like, whatever, yeah, this is cool. And then, man, when they got that email saying that it was published, whoa, what the rush, like you say, what a rush.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's because so much work goes into it. And like you said, it's a lot of and for me, when I was writing and a lot of years go into your writing and the content that you're putting in your book. And so you don't really pay attention to, you get kind of past the excitement of writing the book. Right. So the point where you're working on the minutia of it, the placement of the pictures, the placement of this, the formatting, the technical stuff. It's not that fun, right?
Oh, it's tough.
And then when you get that email in where it's been published, it's such an incredible feeling. It really is. Now you're an author. You're a published author.
It's so weird. It's the coolest feeling. I would have never guessed that it felt like that. And like you said, I'm going through when I had it in Word and you're trying to, move these pictures around and you'll make one move or something and it changes the whole thing in the format and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to poke my eyes out. And then you get here to the end and I've been blessed, some of our agents have read it and my wife's read it. And so, at times when I've lost interest in it and, maybe kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is such a good idea because it's weird. It's you're enthralled in it so much that it starts to become not new to you, like you're saying anymore. And then to have someone else come in and maybe pick it up and read it and say, oh, some of that stuff is really good. It helps. It helps you get back on track.
Well, what's really incredible about this story of yours is that you did it kind of by yourself. So people like me who go into the business of authoring, we learn the little things to do to keep us motivated along the way. And the fact that you didn't do that, you just basically by natural instinct relied on, you know, your wife to read it and to kind of give you the
Right.
boost that you needed. Authors learn early on. You got to kind of give yourself that over and over, but you didn't know any of that. You didn't have any of
Yeah.
those skills. Yeah. So now
It
you know.
becomes, it's weird. I've been in the business for a long time, so a lot of the information in this business is second nature to me, but I'm really cognizant of that when I'm talking to people. Like I really, because for us, to close a couple $1 million deals in a week maybe isn't that big of a deal. It's a huge deal, but maybe isn't that uncommon. So we have to be really careful to make sure that we really take care of people and understand what they're going through. And so it's been an interesting journey on this to help reinvigorate that and to help get back to those roots and get back to the excitement of teaching people, because it starts getting monotonous. I'm like, oh, everyone knows this stuff, but it's
And
not. It's just
everybody
like
does
I've read
it.
it 6,000 times.
Yeah. Well, and then also congratulations on #1 new release for your category.
Oh my gosh, that was the coolest thing ever. Almost just as cool of a rush as the first email. I saw that little orange banner and I couldn't even believe it.
I know when I was offline most of yesterday because I was working, and when came on Facebook and saw it, I was just like so proud. I was like, I'm so honored to be on this journey with you. It was just I got such a sense. I literally squealed, and everybody was like, "Oh crap!"
I sent a text to my wife, even though she's sitting right next to me. I was like, oh my gosh, you have to see this. I'm going to text you the screenshot. And she's like, is it good or is it bad? I'm like, I can't even tell you. This is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Pretty
great.
wild.
So let's talk about the book a little bit and get some
Yeah.
people excited about it, because we're talking about the business of authoring, but let's talk about the content of the book. So we did discuss this before you had the book published. You were on my show. You were one of my first guests.
Yeah.
And so this book is good for anybody who is interested in the real estate industry in any manner, right? So
Right.
first time agents, first time buyers, anybody just even thinking about investing, all of the things, right?
Right. If you're an existing real estate broker and you're flipping houses, you're probably not going to learn a lot from it because it's not a really advanced book on those levels. It's a more of, let's get you from zero or little knowledge about this process. Everyone seems to be into real estate, and there's a lot of shows on now, and it's really helped us because people come into it with a different attitude and they're ready for repairs, so they're learning on that level. But what they don't get and understand yet is the whole process. How does it work? What are the time frames? Who should we be hiring? Who hires these people? How does it work? How many days? How can we back out? What's it cost? All of these type of things are what this book is basically about.
So now this book is specific to the state of California. Is that correct?
Yes, all of the states are completely unique. So this is a California real estate book. I'll get my real estate license in Nevada here shortly. I'm in the process of doing that. So I may end up doing one for Nevada also once I learn the ins and outs of how they work. But every state is completely different with the laws and title and how all that stuff works. So this is California specific. California, even Southern and Northern California, is slightly different with how they handle title and escrow and who does it. Southern California uses attorneys, Northern California uses title companies. So even in California, it's, between Northern California, it's a little bit different. But this book will cover all that.
And so inside the book, it covers both the Northern.
It doesn't touch a lot on it, but it just kind of explains the differences and who's doing what and how you find them and what their job is. And then it goes over foreclosure and what short sales are and how long the foreclosure time is and, what their options are, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I saw that as I was going through it. I haven't actually read it word for word yet, but I've scanned the book. And then I did find myself when I was formatting getting caught reading the book. And I was like, no. Dang it, now I got to minus out a half an hour.
Well, I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's an interesting read. It's a good read. I thought it was really well written. I think that anybody who's not savvy to the real estate lingo is going to be able to still read it and get a lot from it. And I think even real estate agents are going to be able to read it and get a lot out of it. So it's
Yeah, I
very
really
well
appreciate
crafted.
that. I really, really appreciate that. That's kind of exactly what I was hoping it would do. It's very easy reading. It's very simple to read. It's kind of question and answer based format. There's a lot of tips in it, so it's easy to go back and reference things and reference questions. It's not a lot of about like exactly what I do as far as flipping houses and how exactly I do it and things like that. There's not a lot of really advanced strategies yet as far as making offers, because then the book would just get huge. But it's a really, really good base level. And a lot of new agents, I teach the new orientation class here in Lodi at the Association of Realtors as well. And a lot of new agents don't have a lot of opportunities for training, and don't know how to get it or where to get it. And so even for them, it's a real good book. It kind of lays out the whole process, and at least this is a cutthroat industry, and you come in a lot of times as a new agent and you're working alongside someone on the other side of a transaction that's been doing the business for 40 years. And so, they can steamroll you a little bit. They can outmaneuver you. They can, and so this kind of helps right out of the bat, just kind of get you on a more level playing field, at least as a base.
That's great. And I think it's also really smart that you did keep it kind of very simple for the new person coming in. I think that sometimes what happens is when there aren't like the baseline intro books coming in, you end up with a book that's tech heavy in an industry, and you can get yourself in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad information in this too. Everyone's a real estate expert, which, like I said, on some things is good because people are getting exciting about rehabbing and owning homes and renting them out and becoming owners and passive income and all that kind of stuff. But on the other hand, a lot of bad information about how these transactions work and how the laws are and what they read and what you can get in trouble for. A lot of that, gets lost in the shuffle. And so this kind of helps you get a grasp on that stuff as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm really excited for you. And
Me
it ended
too.
up a little bit bigger than you thought it was going to. It ended up over like 106 pages.
Yeah, when I ended up doing it on Word, I think I had it at 60 pages or something like that. But when you ended up formatting it and we got it finalized, it ended up at like 105 pages. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It looks
Yeah.
really good too. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of great help writing it. Marcus Bolanos is one of my main partners in real estate and in our solar company as well. And he did a lot of helping with me as well and came up with the idea to include the Hackworth tips with the little logo. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Ross Valinskis is a local lender here in town with Evergreen Home Loans in Lodi. He helped me with the lender part of it. Like I said, my wife helped me. My parents are always supporting me. You've helped me. So I've been really blessed with the support and the help I've got from everyone.
You've gotten a good team together for yourself. You did really good. I see you as one of those kind of people though that draws people to them. Like you're a great networker and talker and socializer. And I know you refer to yourself as an introvert really, but I think you're probably the most extrovert of all the introverts I've ever met.
I appreciate that. I'm not very social, like in a bar setting. I don't go to the bar or anything like that. But, I'm at home, like in the sand dunes. If I'm out in the sand dunes, I'll walk up to anyone and start talking to them about their car. But, in the regular real world, I'm not that social. But I love teaching. I love spreading the info I got. I feel like I had some rough mentors and some rough beginnings into this. And I feel if someone would have been there to help me that was a little bit more ethical and a little bit more caring about giving back, to the community and the things that they've been able to benefit from, I think it would have really helped me a lot. And it would have really, really shortened my curve for success. And so I'm hoping to do that. I'm hoping to give back and hoping to help people where I, in the position where I could have really used it and it would have really helped my life. I'm hoping this hits some people like that.
That's awesome. That's great. So now will you use this book in the class that you're teaching for the real estate department?
Probably not so much unless any of them ask me for it or want it. That real estate class is more just on straight ethics and all that kind of stuff on how to be a realtor and, things like that, more on the code of ethics and what can get you in trouble and what you can say and things like that. This book is more along the lines of transactional. I don't just want to give it out to anyone because I don't know if other brokers agree with a lot of the things that I'm saying or how I handle things or the procedures that I use. So, I like to make sure that we get along good with all the other brokers in town and that we all have a positive working relationship. So I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but, at the same time, I'd like to get as much of them out there as I can.
Yeah, well, I think you have an excellent reputation. I told you that with first time I met you, that you have an excellent reputation in town. So
I really
yeah.
appreciate that. My dad's told me my whole life, the only thing that you got in that you really own is your word. And so I've really, really tried to live by that and try to do right by everyone I come in touch with.
Yep, that's good. Good for you. It shows.
Thank you.
Shows. Yeah. So, so with the coronavirus, we had like planned this whole campaign. We were going
Yeah,
to do a big like book release and all of the things. So, but now it's like I had a book come out too. I couldn't do a book release.
right.
But the upside is that everybody, when this is over, is going to be so excited to get
Yeah,
out and do stuff like all summer, right? So are
right.
you still planning to do like a big kind of book release and thing when this is over?
Yeah, a term that I like to use is drunk driving. I'm totally drunk driving, and I don't drink at all, so I'm definitely not drunk. But I just use drunk driving as to explain any time where I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of relying on you and waiting for your guidance on that. But yeah, this is all very extremely new for me.
Well, I would encourage you, as soon as we can, I'm going to do a book release. I'll do a big party, another big party. I would encourage you to do the same. And in fact, when I do my book release, you should bring your books and come set up a table and do a book signing.
I would love that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And so we'll talk about like what it's going to look like moving forward, because everybody's going to be trying to catch up.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
once this
And
corona is over, I think the market, the economy, everything's going to really explode. We haven't been forced to take a break like this for a minute, and I think for some of us we needed it. I know I personally have needed a recharge break, and so
yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready for us to keep following the rules and stay in quarantine as best that we can do, and I'm ready for this to pass and for us to all get back to regular life.
Yeah, I know. I was watching this morning. I like to watch the news as I'm getting ready, and they talk a lot about the unemployment levels and stuff. And I think it's a little disingenuous to talk about the unemployment levels when you've told everybody they have to stay at home. So it's not like a
Right.
reflection of what's really happening in the economy. It's a reflection of what's happening as we all try to adhere to social morality by staying home, so
Right.
that the people who would be hit the hardest are okay.
We're all just doing the best we can, and it's what I would really love to see happen is for them to pause everything. If we're going to really do this, let's pause everything. Pause payments, pause banking, pause rent,
Yeah.
pause foreclosures, pause credit card payments, pause everything. Let's put the country on hold. Let's all just lock down for a second. But I think I'm proud of everyone. Most of the people that I know are really locking down. I think we're doing a better job than what the media tries to portray.
I
I've
agree.
seen some crazy things where it'll show, a statistic that shows how many people are sick and how many people have recovered. And one of them was, a couple thousand people sick and 8,000 people recovered. It was one of the countries, but the bar graph for the couple thousand people sick was bigger than the 8,000 people recovered.
I
And
know.
so
It's
it's,
they're sensationalizing it. Yeah.
yeah, a little bit. And we don't need that. All of us, we've seen it. We believe it. There's people dying. We're not, I don't think anyone believes it's a hoax or that it's anything crazy. I mean, there's real people dying. So we believe it. We just give us the real truth of the statistics about what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now you brought up a very good point. The mortgage industry has agreed or have been kind of mandated to offer forbearance, but when I
Right.
looked into it, it's kind of not a very friendly forbearance. It's basically you can take 3 months and not make your payment. You won't get penalties and fees, and you won't get recorded to the the credit agencies. But come June 1st, all your payments are due.
Right.
And you've reached that sweet spot of 3 months where they can start foreclosure
See,
proceedings.
that's the problem. That's what I really hope anyone who's looking for some help with that, please reach out, ask me, ask a local lender. It's really not a good deal what most of them are putting out. A
No,
forbearance agreement is how a forbearance agreement typically works is they move all your payments to the very end.
that's what they should have done.
Right. And so you're really onto something, and you're the only other person that I've talked to that I've heard talk about this, because I haven't seen obviously any of the forbearance paperwork. So I don't know what they're doing or what they're agreeing to or how it looks. But my fear is exactly what you've said. In
Yeah.
California, you cannot start foreclosure until you've missed 3 payments.
Hmm.
So if you take that in mind, if you can't even start foreclosure until we miss 3 payments, there's 3 months. So
Right.
now the first part of foreclosure is notice of default. That's also 3 months. So now we're 60 days. Then after the notice of default period, the time when they can take your property back is 21 days. So there's 3 months plus 3 months plus 21 days. There's a lot of time. There's more time than what these people, what they're trying to make it seem. And if you end up in this forbearance agreement, I don't know. I want to see one. I want to see, are they starting, are you waiving your rights maybe to anything? I just don't know. I don't know what they're doing. And I hope no one agrees to it. And then it puts them in a position where they're foreclosed on sooner, because those payments
Yeah,
can already be in.
that's a good, so the way it was explained to me, because I called immediately to find out about it, we're construction, so we're very precarious position. We can't get
Right.
unemployment. We're too small to we're really a micro business, not a small business, right? So
Right.
SBA is not taking care of us.
Right.
And we, so we're stuck in that spot where a lot of people are going to be stuck, right? So first
Yeah.
thing I did, because I don't trust anything, I called both of my mortgage companies, and wanted to find out what the deal was. And that's when I asked them the questions about the forbearance. And the way they're handling it now is the 3 months, they waive it. And in the meantime, you have an opportunity to file a hardship application. So if you file a hardship application on or before those 3 payments are due, so it's 3 payments accumulatively that are due, right?
Right.
You file your hardship, then they will assign you to one of those account representatives that deals with people who are going into foreclosure. So they
It's a
can either,
negotiator. And so here we are, right back to the old
yeah,
sports
exactly.
days.
So,
And
but I cannot
negotiators don't respond. It's
yeah, I
crazy.
can't possibly see how foreclosing on all of these people in January or in June, July is going to help anybody. I can't imagine that this is what the mortgage companies will
Well,
want.
it's follow the money. You can imagine, you know exactly who it's going to help. It's not going to help anyone who's out here paying taxes and paying for these crooked ass politicians, but it's going to help those politicians. They benefit in times of craziness and times of crashes. And so
Yeah.
they're always looking to push something up to crash it. And so, I think if we do a good job of quarantining and stay down, I think we're gonna beat this, and they won't be able to do it. And I think the market's gonna come back hotter than ever.
So for those people that, like, let's say didn't save for 6 months, like we're supposed to have 6 months to be able to save, but most
Right.
people can't do that. So for those people who didn't, what would your recommendation be for handling their mortgage?
So this is a rough spot for me because as a professional, I can't legally recommend that anyone doesn't make their payment or anything like that. So, first and foremost, we always want to make our payments, but let's remember the time frames. If we stop making payments today, they can't start the foreclosure process for 3 months, right? And then after that 3 months, the first period of foreclosure is called notice of default. That's also 3 months. And then there's 21 days. So during that 3-month period where you miss payments, during the 3-month period of the notice of default, during the 21-day period of the notice of trustee sale where they say, hey, in 21 days, we're going to go sell your house for cash at the courthouse steps. During all those periods, by law, you can make your payment back up and take control back of your house. You are the
Yes.
equitable owner the whole time. So it's good to know those time frames. And I don't know if they're going to try and do fees for these forbearance agreements or what the deal is, but it's good to know. It's good to know that even if you don't do anything, if you were current last month and you stop making this month's payments, they can't even start the process of trying to take the house from you for 3 months. So hopefully that helps a little bit, understand the process a little bit. But, any questions on it, I would say reach out to me or you and we can try and get questions answered as best we can.
Don't reach out to me. Reach out to Marty for sure.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything.
If they don't know me or can't figure out how to get to me, maybe they can get to me through you.
They can get to me and I will send them to you. That's the only thing I'm willing to do. And I'm shooting in the dark.
So I'm not a lender. I work with people that I trust and that that I have in my team that I love and trust. And so I listen to what they say. I don't quote rates. I don't do anything like that, but I listen to the people around me that are into that. It's way too hard to be an expert at both real estate and lending. It's, in my opinion, it's impossible.
Yeah. I had played with the idea of getting a real estate license once upon a time when I was younger. I actually went through all the classes and everything and passed it. And then I had to sit down and take the test. And I was like, I don't want to.
It's worth getting. I'm glad I have mine. My wife's going back to finish her broker's up. Marcus is getting his broker's license. It's something I recommend to do. I love it. I enjoy real estate. There's a whole bunch of different aspects of it. You can find your niche, somewhere in it at any point.
Yeah. I'm pretty busy though. So I think I'll just publish you guys' books. You guys can just write books and I'll just publish your books. How's that?
Hey, I'm okay with that too.
So speaking of that, because we're running up against our time here.
Okay, cool. My phone's almost dead, so that's good.
Okay, what is your next book? So are you working on your next book?
I don't know. I have a bunch of ideas and a bunch of stuff written down. I don't really know. I'm thinking maybe something on foreclosure, just straight foreclosure investing and how we do all that kind of stuff. Or I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of feeling it out and taking some ideas and input from those around me, and I'd like to get started on one quick.
If I were you, just a suggestion, because where we're at right now, if you can pump it out quickly, I would work with your lender friend and put something together for right now, for emergency, if you miss your payments. Look at what's come out. Look at the plan. I think that if you guys could get like a handy book together quickly, like I want to say in a couple of weeks, you would be, it would go like hotcakes.
Well, I will definitely get started on that then. I needed some direction, and there we have it.
I would. Okay, so if anybody wants to get a hold of you and a hold of your books, how would they do that?
My email is marty@hackworthre.com. You can send me a text. My cell phone's 209-607-0687. I'm on the internet. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. If you search my name, you'll find me easily. And basically all my addresses and phone numbers go to the same place.
And your book's available for purchase on Amazon.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to have you hang out for just a second and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, but don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so very much for joining Terry Wells Brown once again, Author Woman of Wine Country. And I'll be back next week. Stay safe, stay sane, and we'll see you next time.